All right, good morning. We are just in time to catch the opening bell. Um, I'd like a little bit of a different outcome than yesterday. We don't want it to run right on open. So this line that I've got drawn out is my bias for the day. So less explaining, more watching. We got 1 minute to open. You ready to trade today?
I am ready to run it up.
Don't sound very ready.
I just woke up like 5 minutes ago.
So you can't have your computer in the bed.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of these are hourly imbalances. The red one is the bearish. This one, which is green, is the bullish imbalance. I want the drop into the bullish imbalance, the hourly breaker, because of this S&T, and then rally above the 4-hour high, closing hourly inversion, which it might be at this high by the time it closes, right? There's 30 minutes between right now and then to the relative equal highs from up here. So simple as that. So I can initially take this high and then drop lower, right? Put 2 points of kind of contact in, boom and boom, or preferably right there, and then do the rally there. Be nice.
We do have SMT with previous day's high and Friday's high with YM.
Yes, but
And then we inverse the 4-hour. So if I do, these hourly gaps should hold and take us to, what buy side is this? The 2200 buy side?
yes, but
Sure.
my logic behind why I don't worry about that SMT is this is YM, right? And that's YM, the general movement, and this is ES and NQ. They're moving, like that's how they've been moving the past 4 days, right? From more than 4 days from here, right? On YM, it's been, this is like here, this wick was up there, this one's there, it's there, and it's like just like that. So got this move into the hourly breaker now. Would not be taking anything if it just went straight down. So that doesn't even bother me. Okay.
Because YM does have equal lows with Friday's low. Wait, is that Friday's low? Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up YM.
Yeah, that's Friday's low.
Okay, so this is why YM I'd never use for analysis. YM's one big candle up, 50 points, and Q, two big candles down, 52 points. This is double the size of the move, though. That's a big move. Okay. It's the most excitement off of open we've seen in a long time. Like yesterday had this, but yesterday's entire move was only 50 points. Actually, no, I lied. It's 100. But that's quick. It feels very quick there. So even though I had this bullish bias, and let's say that this gets invalidated, for me, there's not even a short in here, considering I'm wanting to wait for the first 50 minutes to play up. So I'll hold the bias that I have the most confidence in until I'm proven wrong, right? And I'll switch. I'll use like if this happens, then I can, if that happened, I could have the bullish bias. But if this happens, then I could have the bearish bias, right? And that's the safest way to trade. And that's how you build your, there's a word I'm trying to find.
Confidence in your system.
Like your screen time after seeing, so many different if thens happen, right? So you're like, okay, I'm bullish to here, but then this happens. You're like, okay, I can flip bearish. You build more confidence switching the bias and actually using the logic behind it. But what I could note, right, And what I did note in my notes here, mainly looking for this move lower than expansion, but I noted the 4-hour high here and the fact that the previous day's low has not been taken, right? With also the 4-hour inversion. Close on this 4-hour, inversing it, trading into the 4-hour order block. So like all-time high rally above the buy side, you could say is manipulation. The only reason I didn't want to is because I looked at this hourly order block off of this manipulation at London's low as the manipulation, right? So I didn't really care for this previous daily low. This is a strong low and the S&P then forming the hourly breaker, right? So I think as long as we're above that buy side or the sell side, then this is still possible to get up there. It's just very discounted. This needs to be moved. And what do you think?
Yeah, no, this well, London's low is gonna get taken. It looks like because it wasn't really like a displacement move. It was kind of just a slow, choppy kind of grind.
Is this London's low?
Yeah, I think so.
It's, my things are loading.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's London's low. Okay.
540. I would want to see that get taken.
Yeah, because we moved from London's high back down into the range. We're right at equilibrium right now, but we have London's low as a sell side. That's why I was saying, you could potentially be more bearish with this getting taken for past then, because if we were in a bullish scenario, this SMT with London's low would then deliver something like my line here to Asia's high at the internal range massive liquidity, and then the relative equal highs from the previous day, right?
And like this hourly balance can still hold, and we don't really need to take London's low to see higher because we already have S&P with previous days low.
Yeah. Well, we do, yeah. It's just the S&T I drew up on. No, with YM we did.
Yeah, YM took previous days low, but it put it in equal lows, so that's why I'm kind of
But ES's move,
took out the AM session low, right?
and I like that low more because it's off of the London classic expansion kind of thing, right? Where you get the manipulation of London session low, then get the expansion. The trade that we took yesterday was from right there up to right in there, top ticking, and not holding it all the way to the buy side. There's also S&T put in, so all right. There's this, so I kind of closed some above that buy side, right there.
I also don't like the low of the week that we have put in so far.
Yes, well, the low of the week is a bad low.
So that's another thing. It's like
It's
I would prefer to see that get traded too.
It's
And we have that daily gap as well.
right above the daily gap, yeah. But again, the low of the week was formed and then inverse the 4-hour, right? So it was in a 4-hour bullish area. Yeah. We open, trade lower, run higher, inverse the 4-hour gap, right? That's the low of the week. So it's like we could attack it, but I'd almost like to see us, since we've got this daily displacement here, run higher, take the all-time highs again. Tuesday could be the high of the week, then run lower, right? Today's day so far is inside previous day's range, right? And we're right at the midpoint. Remove this line. I'm sure everybody knows where I'm looking. Mhm. I wonder if you can hear my click clacking on my keyboard.
Did you change any settings from yesterday?
No?
Just left it.
What? Why?
No, I was just wondering.
Okay. It's like, what, are they bad yesterday? Oh, you can hear my clicking, but it's quiet, so that's fine. I was only typing one thing out in my commentary that I do, my journal. Okay, so we trade back into this lower imbalance from the 9:30 opening price. Or no, sorry, the 9:30 candle, then the 9:31 candle forms this. So this is your first percentage fair value. It's a big one. So we will watch this. Because let's keep in mind that we traded lower, put these relative equal lows in, right? And also fell short of this London session low. So delivering from here, running this out quickly, could just be completing this. It is very discounted, right? So if you look for anywhere to be in shorts off of an aggressive move, right, you're looking at the premium right in there. I wonder if you can even do it with this, right? You cross-reference this range with the internal range, and you also get to the premium there.
Okay, so YM just took that buy side from that's high a day. YM just took high a day.
Okay,
So we have SMT there.
so you look at YM all the time, and YM's just like completely uncorrelated all the time.
Well, not all the time, but when it's uncorrelated, it's easier to kind of frame a manipulation. Because NQ's dumping, YM's pumping. So if YM starts to flip back bearish, then it gives us a good framework for a bearish scenario.
Did you look at ES?
I did, yeah. Yeah, so ES looks like it wants to try to trade to that hourly or that 4 hour. The way we're delivering off the hourly. So if NQ takes this London low sell side and starts displacing higher and YM just kind of holds where it's at, then that'd be a good scenario for bullish. Because YM's holding its strength, and then you could frame NQ as a manipulation lower.
Kind of want to try and keep this live stream a little bit shorter than yesterday's. Yesterday's live stream did stretch to about 3 hours, and that's it's a lot of sitting and waiting in that live stream. We had one idea and we waited the entire day for it. So, or not the entire day, but we waited until lunch session to do it.
It was a 3 hour, 45-minute live stream.
So 4 hour live stream, and it is not very often that we sit at the charts until lunch session. Or well, I sat at the charts the entire time until lunch session. You know, this short wasn't on my side, so I don't care about missing whatever this move. Not my trade. London's low's been taken. Okay. And we were watching, right? We just formed internal S&T at London's low. So we've got S&T where ES is weaker and ES took this sell side. Now we've got S&T where NQ was weaker, took the sell side there. But with this massive move from the previous 4 hour high, delivering from the 4 hour inversion.
And the order block. in the 4 hour.
This starts to look like this is the top, right? And you're going. Ooh,
Yeah, so I'll wait for the 10 a.m. close. We have orange full there at 10 as well.
it starts to look like this. Oh shit. Okay. Relatively close.
Look to frame 10 a.m. continuation.
So my idea of this hourly breaker ran through so quickly. And the thing about having like a sure bias and knowing what you're looking for. So say I was looking for the internal inside of here. You do not even get anything remotely close to a setup in there. So you're cash. So this move doesn't hurt you. Maybe the only reason it could hurt you is if you were like, oh, I would have been bearish and actually took the trade. So I did want to see this 4-hour candle either take the 4-hour high here into the order block and sell off, or get a close up above that order block and kind of confirm the bullish bias, right? So even though my initial idea was for the more of a rally to trade this low, invalidating London's low, like I said, makes me then more bearish, right? I could look to the previous day's low. I could look to the daily imbalance below the sell side in here. But really, us trading into there, that's this shift here, right? That's the shift. So honestly, I probably then hold a higher time frame bearish bias. I'm going to remove this SMT. And actually, I'll leave it because I'll put the internal one on. There we go. Not that I'd be eager to take any longs, right? Especially with this 15-minute candle there. Never really want to go against these things. You go against these, you're going to pretty much lose almost all the time. Right? We have 13 minutes till this hourly candle closes, right? This is a massive hourly
This
candle.
might just take all of my targets.
Were they your targets?
Yep. Pull my journal if you want. Into the day, bearish bias, but I'd like to see a move higher before getting the move lower.
Where's the move higher?
Which was that manipulation.
This 4-hour one you're talking about, just the previous 4-hour high, yeah?
Just, well, YM ended up getting that move, putting that SMT in.
Yeah. The S&T with YM is with the all-time highs.
That high too, but then there's this high.
Like the previous day high?
Today's high.
But it's with previous day high?
There's SMT with previous day's high and Friday's high.
Yeah, there's one there.
And then there's also one.
Oh, the one with YM is this one. From Asia's high.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we take that? Jeez. So actually, we did have different biases coming into the day. He was bearish and I was bullish, but both of us are flat. So I guess we both lose.
Just because the 4-hour got inversed off that SMT, and there wasn't really like a.
Yeah, I had the same logic the other way. I had off of the SMT here, we inverse, or sorry, this hourly held, right? Delivered the manipulation leg, formed the SMT, then we rallied back into it. I was like, okay, I want to see if we can get above the hourly, and I said it could be possibly weaker because it initially delivered this manipulation leg with the SMT there.
Well, I feel like the sell side from yesterday and the previous day's low are both just failure swings, because they're in such close proximity to like that.
Well, if you were so bearish, you should have been in on this changing day here. Holy shit. There's your trade. Look, you fall short of this low, you put relative equal lows in. You have London's low. and then you run it to the previous day's low. You're Mr. Bearish.
I was still doing analysis because I
So
missed my alarm. So
you would have caught that trade.
I don't know. I barely even got it down past the 50-minute time frame. Still kind of doing some analysis. Didn't want to force anything.
So let's say that you came into the morning with a bearish bias, right? And you had, there was absolutely no way you could be bullish, right? For me, I was more bullish than bearish initially. You'd look at this. Okay, first presented fair value gap, right? We trade down. You get this relative equal lows. You fall short, right? ES is still up above there, so it's not like ES is dumping and there's S&T at these internal lows anyway. All you have is S&T here, right? So you get the retracement. And what I like to generally look for from the retracement is a change in state, so an internal entry confirmation, which I'd be taking that if I was on the bearish side of things. Like if I flip this shit, let's say that, since I had my long bias, this was us trading into the breaker, right? Or taking the sell side, right? Then we got this. That's what I'd be taking, this trade.
I'll still look to take a short to the daily imbalance.
We'll go to the high time frame because you can't see the sell side anymore. Okay, so previous AM session low has been taken. Previous daily low is about to get taken. From wick to the low, we've got 146 points. So big move.
I'll probably take like 10 a.m. opens up trades. I'd like to see it trade higher into like that 5-minute gap. And then I'll look for some sort of continuation out of there. Because it taking previous days low doesn't really make me flip. Because why am I already taken that? I immediately draw to that daily gap.
See, I've got my analysis in here, right? I do this in my journal in the morning. So this was the initial bias, right? And I had the case for the flip, right? Holy crap.
And if this just takes like all the sell side and runs right into the daily gap, then I mean there could be a potential long
daily imbalance right there.
Could be a potential long under the daily gap, but after that large move down, it's going to be a little bit tougher.
So if you wait for the initial 30 minutes to play out, or the opening range, or the first hourly close, or 10 a.m., whatever you wait for, you miss moves like this, right? Let's say you said, for me, I want the hourly close to invalidate this S&T, or not the S&T, the fair value gap here, and form an inverse fair value gap. Then I'm sitting out, right? And then from where I would want it to inverse, it runs another 100 points. So, right, waiting for that full opening range is not always the best thing, right? If you have a bias with more conviction, you don't need that entire opening range to play out. You can execute within the first 5 minutes, right? You see the on open, the little wick manipulation of that 4-hour high, then just instantly going lower, right? Initially, I was like, okay, we put this high in. This low is here, and then I wanted higher, right? This ran right through that hourly imbalance, like butter, right through it. Then gets a slow retracement, probably right to the midpoint, right into the premium, right at equilibrium, then gets the change in state. So there's your bearish short that runs further than you would have probably held it. So, but now that we've taken all of the sell side from here,
this might even just inverse the daily gap.
Literally every low, right? You need to probably wait another few hours to see something good. If all the targets have been taken, what are you trading to? Catch up on ES here. ES is also that sell side that formed the daily imbalance, I think. Yep. So we'll go up to ES. ES all-time highs, gets traded above one more time, does the manipulation, right? Stays kind of more bearish. It's a wick, it's not really an expansion. Then this 4-hour trade, or this daily candle opens, trades into the imbalance off the open. So we can see, honestly, like seeing this move isn't even impossible, right? You're going to get the inverse. If you're going to inverse it, it's going to be quick. It would most likely be in one day. And then from there, you look to target the weekly imbalance, right? This weekly imbalance has got on ES effectively. It actually has got no wick. So that's something to look at too. But what's interesting is I actually have a quite a bit bigger bearish bias with us getting this move lower. And if we close here, I now look to these lows and probably this weekly imbalance that was unfilled.
With that move that we got into that gap, I think we run it. Like dumping 300 points.
234 points. I'm going to leave the daily imbalance on there. So even being wrong with the bias, you don't lose money. So I think I'm about 80% accurate with my bias. And then even if I'm wrong and have to flip, there's still another trade wherever it comes. So that's why you don't let these moves, right? Say, oh no, I missed the short here. If you weren't comfortable in the trade and it didn't really fit with your initial bias, then why would you try and trade that? The amount of times you're gonna say you do this against your bias, and then your bias plays out, you're gonna be like, oh, why did I take that? Right? But because I had that bias, and I know that there might be another trade that I would, now that I've got this bearish bias, I could get in. I don't worry about that 170 point move.
See if that 10 a.m. news does. 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
I'd like for it to move. These are big candles. Like 20 points per candle, 40 points in that candle, 30 points. Those are big candles. Yesterday, the entire trade we took was 45 points, and it took like an hour. Oops.
Yeah, so I would definitely not take a long right away initially off this daily gap, especially after that big of a move. Also, wouldn't really want to short either because there's no close proximity, high quality targets. There's a couple small.
The relative equal low is 300 points away.
Yeah, that's about it.
I'm gonna hop in my time machine and go back to pre-market and not have a bullish bias because I'm scared it's gonna dump, and then see it dump and then get in. Do you remember how bad you'd feel in this trade?
What trade?
If you short and you took this off there and it just flushes another freaking like 3R. Great. So this is like a repeat of yesterday. Just this quick move, right? And of course, when we start trading, it's this, or when we're waiting for the setup, it's 8 15-minute candles.
I just have to trade YM today.
You trade YM. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Go over there. Actually try it. Should we have to do half size though?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go full.
It,
Not right now, but
how come I've never heard of like a micro YM?
actually, I should pull that up just in case.
MYM?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. I've also never looked because I don't care about YM. They won't trade the Dow. Trade NQ. Is it a thing?
Because it does. Yeah, it is. Because it has equal lows, and it hasn't got its move lower yet. So if it's gonna catch up, there could actually be a long, or sorry, a short. It could be a short.
It is quite discorrelated.
But it's gonna have to catch up.
That's what I mean. Well, you got that 5-minute inverse out of the premium hourly imbalance.
I'd want this 15-minute inversion might be too much to ask for. I'd look for like that 5-minute.
If you do that, if you do that 15-minute inversion, you're at the sell side, and your risk's horrible.
No, but like take an internal off of it. But this 5-minute order block I think would be a potential.
So it's only if you enter right now, it's only a 2R.
2R.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. So right now it's only a 2R. So if you wait for the 15-minute inversion, now you've got a half an hour or no trade. So consolidation, tracement. This would be beautiful. Something like that would be beautiful. See us hold this, consolidate a little bit more, and get the redistribution. Boom.
Just gonna get like a full blown reversal off the daily gap.
I wouldn't even mind that.
300 point reversal.
Sorry if the stream's quiet, waiting for something exciting to happen. I'm just looking at my Twitter of it 3 days from June where I had over 200 views for it's like all my posts in a row. 200, 200, 200, and then I just don't know why I'm not getting them anymore. What was that? Like, I don't know. I can't see the logic for a full blown reversal from here.
Yeah, I don't either.
It wouldn't have left. It wouldn't have extended this far away from those highs. That's the okay. It's following my line so far. I've got this marked out where I really want to see this just initially consolidate here and then offer a great internal entry.
There's a 50-minute gonna form in the next 5 minutes.
Yes, I'm gonna go find my PD array of
So that
choice.
could be. There's also like there's 2 5 minutes. You could just kind of use those. I don't want to see a super big move though before the next 50-minute candle opens, because if this 50-minute candle closes way back up in the range, wouldn't be ideal. I'd like to see a larger wick,
Come on.
preferably.
Okay, so that hourly candle closed and this 4 hour candle closed, right? That is a very bearish close. You can't even be in longs against that.
If you are, you'd have to take like just a retracement play.
So I can mark out this 5 minute, like the one that we haven't traded to, but I would think that it's just the lower one we actually hold.
Okay, I'm tape reading this YM 5-minute order block. Pre 50-minute inversion.
I'd long if we inversed this 5 minute.
Not something I would take with real money. But I'm just gonna tape read it.
I'd honestly still long if we inverse these 5 minutes.
I'm
that's
not touching longs.
It's not happening.
I'm not touching longs against that hourly candle.
So you're in on the shorts on YM?
Tape reading, yes. Expecting YM to catch up a little bit. It's a 2.4R to the equal lows. Because YM off open expanded. It was more bearish going into the day. and then it got the bullish move to form the SMT. Meanwhile, NQ dumped like 200 more points. So I'm expecting YM to now flip back bearish and catch up with NQ. NQ's getting a slight retracement, but I do think that it will get a continuation lower.
We're getting this retracement. There is internal SMT with this 5-minute imbalance. ES did not trade into it. I'm on one side for shorts though. Like if something's present, I'll take it.
The YM trade's printing. It's already up an hour.
You didn't take it.
I said I was tape reading it.
Yeah, you should have took it. Yeah, back what you say. Yeah, but like if I was doing the YM trade, I wouldn't have waited for the 15-minute inverse. I would have been on the 5-minute inverse.
5 minute. I would have taken the 5 minute order block that we chapped into there.
Well, you can look. Okay, 5-minute inverse, then you get a retracement, and you could probably find something in there.
Okay, I'd be a break even on that YM short. What? Yeah.
I did pull it up, yeah.
Up on the 5 minute.
I did pull it up.
Okay.
I just had it pulled up. I just switched back before you asked that. I was putting ES on to see how those SMTs do. We put this internal SMT. It's still early in the week, right? Lot can happen this week.
No news till Thursday. I don't like those weeks where there's 1 day of news.
No, horrible.
So it was like the entire week you were waiting for Thursday, or whatever day it is, and then it takes forever to get there. Moves are super slow, and sometimes a Thursday or whatever day has the news isn't even good. And it's like you waited all week for nothing.
But that's why I just trade every day.
I mean, yeah, there's a setup.
Yeah.
$50-minute gaps about to form here in a minute. Not even 10 seconds.
So waiting for that. Waiting to see it if it pushes into it.
Yeah. I would be extra picky on this though, just because we're already delivering kind of out of that daily gap. I would need some really convincing structure to back a short here, fading that daily. I mean, now on the other hand, if this lower 50-minute gets inversed, look to frame along out of the daily. But just based off that the strength of that move, I would expect just a continuation lower.
Yeah, no, it's definitely still hard to frame it. Well,
You need if you're
from that
framing
to frame
longs,
longs,
yeah, you
no.
need a lot more structure. And shorts, the main target's kind of already been met, so it's lower probability already.
So we still have this SMT with this internal high here. So we open this 15-minute and we trade into it. Not bad. Not in this trade. This isn't the trade I was in. Just wanting to see it run a little bit higher first. If I drag this out, that's where equilibrium lies. I just think that it's aggressive to only trade to there, right? And trading into the daily, seeing the move out of it, right? I don't really have a place to target for shorts, so I want a little bit more confirmation before I do anything here. But right, you have this SMT in the 15-minute, right? Because we just formed the 15-minute. Then forming it, then trade above it into it, move lower, fair value gap, right? So I'm watching it. I have two ways of looking at it here. I'm taking something there, or we're getting this move higher. Then we can get another entry, whatever it may be, where it like takes the internal high, then does that. This entry just does not feel like the one. Trade to the 5-minute there. You could say shorts, right? Because we just had this 15-minute and then whatever internal SMT, and then, but it's just not nice.
No.
Doesn't look clean. Like if I lost this, I'd be like, I could have taken a better trade. Right? I wouldn't take this again. Just because that moved down 200 points doesn't mean this is going to keep going down 200 points. Most likely, because we're in the daily gap and we're below the sell side, we're either going to retrace, get above an equilibrium, or just consolidate down here. Look at this. We just ticked the 5-minute, traded a tick into it. From there, then rally. See? I'd like a little bit better of a move into the 15-minute because it was formed and then traded to in the same up move, right? Like within this up move, we traded the 50-minute and formed it. So I want back into it. Dude, look at this opening range gap. Under a point.
Jeez.
So we opened where we closed. It was pretty much the same price. We close here, open here. Or the regular trading hours, right? That's the regular trading hours gap. Look, not often does it actually come together like that. I got this 5-minute imbalance here. Candle close in it.
If this 5-minute gets inverse, I don't even know if I'd want to short it. I'd prefer if this 5-minute holds briefly, internal sweep SMT, and then inverses it.
Your YM tape read is still reading.
It's still chopping a little bit.
Yeah. No. because I'm expecting this consolidation, I'm staying out of the market.
Yeah.
I want to be trading
The
when
main
I know
targets are met.
I want to be trading when I know it's expansion, and this is not expansion. This is a. I even said when we were going down, I said, yeah, it's going to take like an hour and a bit to form structure to have a trade. So I'm not going to jump the gun with the short chasing.
Well, it's like even if you do get into it, it's like the main target's been met. You've already had the expansion. Like we could get a little bit of a move lower and maybe take like the next 4 hour sell side or yeah, that's about it. But besides that, like there's no other really close proximity targets, and I wouldn't want to be forcing anything. Trying to take a trade. Cool. Once that main objective's taken, it's like everything else just seems so much lower probability.
Pull up some alternatives. Gold ripping new all-time highs. Nope, not quite all-time highs. But it is going to. It's going to rip new all-time highs. For sure taking these out. I remember doing analysis on gold when it was below these highs.
There's actually a pretty good continuation long at 10.
Oh yeah.
10 a.m. opens right into an hourly gap.
You remember looking at gold when it was below all these highs and we're like, gold for sure goes above these highs?
Yeah.
And it's just ripped a new frickin'. It discovered a new planet up here. 50% higher.
I still have an SMT drawn out from March.
I just deleted my stuff. I can put it back on, but
I drew an SMT from on March 12th somewhere.
I've June 2024. Oh, and no, I've got it's in white because I used to have white chart colors. If I change it to black, I can see it. And if I change that to black, no. I've got sell side. I've got equilibrium. I've got something else drawn out from in here. Yeah, from January 2024, I've got gold longs marked out, which is before that 50% move or whatever. Solana all-time highs. 50% to it. Oh, my alert. Oh, that's actually amazing. Look at this. I forgot about this alert. I have my alert at this weekly low, I'd say. Monthly, is it in balance there? Whatever. Alert. Boom. Rallies. Look at this. Look at this move. Out of that 5 minute. Look at this par three.
400-yard par three. Holy shit.
Because you can't be short. So
Well, I wonder how like what you'd hit there, because you're so high up. So I wonder if they give you like an estimate, like hit it 180 yards or whatever,
I'd probably do like a 7.
and then just let it drop.
Oh, 300 yards.
Well, it looked pretty like sloped down, right? You could just hit a putter and just let it roll down there.
It's fine. Okay, so waiting for the internal sweep. We just got it. Had to move into the 15-minute balance, but with that delivery from that lower 5-minute, right? I don't immediately go, oh, I'm looking for shorts now. I'll watch this. Bullish and balance. See what we do with this. We totally inverse it and be a decent short. We no longer have the SMT there. And I'll mark out the 15-minute imbalance instead of having the 5-minute drawn up. Okay. What if we run back the highs? Holy crap. All we needed was a little bit of a discount into the daily imbalance, right? But if that's low week and it is continuation of the rest.
Could be.
Definitely need to do some reanalysis here. Just because.
If I'm considering longs, I would need to see the lower 50-minute get inversed. And then I'd need internal out of that.
Yeah, just
I'm not gonna like pre-fire a long trying to inverse that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't short necessarily right now either. I actually don't even I don't want to really trade anything short because we just filled that daily gap and we're rejecting off it really well.
When bias is so split, right?
Yeah.
But
you need more confirmation. But yeah, I've seen this trade before where it's like so you miss the large move, and then you try and frame like a continuation after most of the objectives have been met, and then you just get like a kind of a chop, or like you'll take this 5-minute inversion short, it'll fall short of the low.
Or I've seen it where it just
trades.
goes. I've seen it where it just like gives you an entry here, like it'll do this, but then just do that.
Yeah.
So
Sitting patient. Not gonna get trigger happy here.
what if we had 20 viewers in the live stream? I totally gambled all my accounts. I'd full port everything. We had 20 people watching. So definitely watching how we continue to print off this 5-minute here. Again, once you get these massive moves, take out all the sell side, obviously it's harder to trade, especially when you're an ICT trader and what you trade is targeting highs and lows. Then not much you can do right now, right? You could potentially have gotten in the long saying, yeah, I want equilibrium met. I've done that before.
A little smoky up, but it looks like a nice day for golf. Only 16 degrees? Really?
We're ripping straight up. Wow.
Didn't want to sneeze right in the mic.
We're ripping straight up. Okay, we tagged almost equilibrium here. Yeah, for me, it's definitely tricky to be in longs without discomfort. Like we're trading into this massive bearish 15 minute and going against this down move. That's really hard to do. Right? When things aren't fully clear, you don't need to trade them. It's how you save yourself from losses. Tell you what, it feels a lot better to take a win-win. It's you only had one bias, and that's the only thing you expected. And you can take bigger size trades there too. You have more confidence in them. They're A+ setups, so you can definitely be in way more.
Yeah.
Freaking like 3 points.
Well, I think that's too deep of a run for a continuation.
I wouldn't say that, but I'd say it's right at equilibrium. So it's right,
Like it's borderline too long or too deep.
Well, because you trade through all the sell side, right? I like to look at it this way. If you get your expansion, you fall short of your sell side. Then you want the short retracement to like a quarter. But if you have all the sell side taken, going back to equilibrium before then getting a new model to target the lows is fine. But it's like the crossroad. It's like
Yeah.
we're watching how it trades this equilibrium here to base then the actual trade that we'll end up taking. Because
The only good thing about this deeper retracement is like if you do get structure to form or to base a short off of, you'll have more structure to go off of.
yeah,
Versus if you just shallow your trace into the 50-minute and then displace lower right away. Especially after all the targets have been met. Different scenario if the targets haven't been met. That short retracement's ideal and you feel confident in that. But after the targets have been met, that shallow retracement with the expansion right away is not always the best. You up?
I'm not saying
What time would take?
I'm not. Yeah.
These fucking AI videos are so funny.
I don't like how AI is getting good enough to do videos like that.
It's a weird.
Obviously, we can tell, but imagine you're like 70. You just think that's real.
Yeah.
It's too accurate. I need to ponder on my bias. Go make a coffee.
Grab a bite to eat quick, dude.
Well,
With the action.
If you don't have bias, like right now, like it can go lower. And I prefer to do the short because the structures against or with it. But if it inverse 50, then I could go against it. Long. So it's like right between.
Pretty decent trade if it happens. It's inversion short.
Oh. So we're looking at the inverse short here. Oh, we trade right to equilibrium, hey? Wait, hold on.
Close.
Oh, really close, yeah. Okay. If anybody was to tune into the stream, they should tune in now. Right before we catch the trade. So we're watching this 5 minute imbalance here. Since we've now traded to the premium 5 minute, right? Or above the consequent encroachment of the 15 minute. We then get internal sweep there. So got a fair value gap. We got internal sweep. And then we need the entry, which would be 5 minute inversion potentially. So there is this internal SMT too. Right there. Internal SMT right there.
All right. Possible shorts here.
Potential shirts. Potential shirts. Let's see. I'll mark out the 1 minute change and say we got. See if that holds, and if it can deliver lower, then it's just an extra confirmation. The 5 minute is a massive imbalance. I just noticed. What are people taking? The 3 minute?
This 1 minute inversion actually wouldn't be bad. And just go break even at the 5 minute.
In the 5 minute.
Not quite, are we?
We've been in it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I have a wick here that formed a different 5 minute.
That wick is not even on my chart.
Okay.
Not a wick.
Okay.
Or what we're doing is retracing, and then we just expand, and it's going to just slowly grind through all of this down move price, and it is hard to read those. Some of the hardest, well, in my opinion, that's the hardest thing to trade is when you get this massive move one direction, and
The
then
only
it
thing
just slowly grinds through the entire move.
Yeah, I just sit those out.
Yeah.
The only thing I would take here is, well, so we got the retracement into equilibrium of that range, almost. 15-minute gap, SMT at the highs. I would take potentially this 5 minute inversion. And then just like wait for like a little retrace into something. I'm going to be a little bit more picky though because the daily imbalance has already been met.
I'm going to be super picky.
Like ideal scenario, if I was a market maker, 15-minute order block, inverse the 5 minute, and then like at this inverse them on the same candle, right? So within the next
What?
2
What
5
do you mean,
minute.
what do you mean inverse them? What 15 minute? Are you talking about inversing?
No. 15-minute order block
Oh,
and
okay.
inverse the 5 minute gap
Oh, it's
in the same candle.
Yeah.
Ideally. And then you get the retracement into the 5 minute inversion and 15-minute order block. That would be my short. If I was a market maker. If the market maker's watching live stream. I'd like to be generous today. That's what I would take.
I'd run it higher. I know, I'm serious.
Inverse the 5 minute and then run it higher.
No, I'd run it higher. Like I'd just go straight up off the daily gap, inverse this upper 5 minute. But more importantly, just delivering off of this internal here, and it just goes straight up. That's like if you look at like the hourly or something, it doesn't it feel like something's missing there? Like it doesn't feel.
It feels
full?
like we're gonna go lower
Okay, well
because there's too much generated liquidity. Like look at all these lows here.
but look, if you look at the hourly, if you look at my chart, doesn't it feel like we're missing something here?
Well, yeah, we'll return to it.
No, like right now, it feels like I'd be uncomfortable shorting here, knowing that it's not like there. Like it's like shivers. It's like I need that.
Really?
I don't know why.
It looks like a market maker sell model.
It feels like that happens.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't explain.
You
I
take
can't
a
explain
long.
that.
You take a long, and I'll take a short.
I take a long, you take a short. Well, we're probably neither of us are gonna get an entry. I'll be waiting for entry. You'll be waiting for an entry, and it'll just chop, and we won't get anything. Which I guess would be fine, but
Okay. Okay. ES and YM both have super smooth like lows stacked up. YM's built lots of low resistance liquidity this whole morning. It's about to inverse its 50-minute in 7 minutes. That would be a good indication for lower.
It'd be funny too if it 1v1. Long and short. Just.
Hmm.
I mean, you beat even everything, right? Which would suck. You know what you can do? Yeah, do that, but like, I'll take a long, and I'll say that my invalidation on the long is like this low, and you'll take the short and say your invalidation on the long is up here, and they're both like 1-to-1s, so it's like a 1-to-1 for me or a 1-to-1 for you, but we let them go further than the 1-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
So the loser's down 1R, but the winner's up 2R. So you are.
Yeah, as
between
long
the
as
two
it
of us.
doesn't hit the 1R and then reverse, and then you're both down an R.
Yeah, but you're betting on it going up because generally, once you get to a certain point, that's where you
Here we go.
flip anyway.
But it inverses back to the upside.
Ah. 5 minute. Interesting. That low, which is just noticing now, is that 10 a.m. low. On the dot, 10 a.m. on the nose for the low.
10 a.m. reversal.
10 a.m. reversal. You long right now. Don't take that advice. That's not financial advice. Nothing I say is financial advice. That's But like it's interesting though, having this 5 minute, trading into it, and then getting that move out of it. Like, as much as I want a short, I don't have a good enough draw to short. If we still had this sell side and didn't have the, like, if we were right now, but didn't have this part of the move, I'd be looking for shorts. If we didn't have all of this downside into the daily gap through all the sell side, and we were at the same price right now at 10.57, I'd be looking for shorts. Tremaine Trades caught this trade here.
Okay.
Caught it on the chin a little bit. Yeah, tad bit offside. Oh wow! See, if we did a challenge, or I was like, I'm a market maker, I'd send it higher. I'd win. I'd be winning. Might have might be the manipulation leg, but that actually traded to equilibrium now. The previous move didn't quite go to equilibrium.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just trading against that 9 a.m. hourly candle, trying to fade that in long. A little tougher.
I take the shortened version. I take the 2 minute.
I think I'm just gonna sit tight for a bit. I'm gonna wait for at least 5-minute confirmation.
Oh, I'm waiting for that 2 minute if we get it. But
yeah,
just because that would be then us delivering from the 15 minute with the 2 minute inversion. Would be better. Yeah, very hard to trade against these imbalances though. We had a 5 minute close above the down move there. So it's very interesting. So for shorts, preferably it wouldn't go up through there, right? If I'm looking for shorts. This is kind of my area. Well, actually that's just the 5 minute imbalance. So yeah, as long as we're holding this premium 5 minute imbalance, it's good for shorts. I'm looking at taking that 2 minute inversion because I like the cleanliness of it. It's clean. There's technically S&T with this, but this high trades above it, which formed the S&T, and then we invalidate it by coming back above it, right? And then with the actual all-time high, or not the all-time high, with the actual high, it took it on NQ.
Okay, so 11 o'clock just opened actually.
Yeah.
Technically, with a
Equal high.
10 a.m. reversal candle.
Yes, but yeah, that is actually true. It could totally run back up above the relative equal highs, right? Which was the initial bias, but it would be
I'd almost prefer if this daily imbalance gets ran and we trade way back down to that weekly and then get.
I said that on the live. I said when we were having the down move, I said, yeah, now that we're coming this aggressively into the daily gap, I want to see if we're gonna get the close today below it and then run through the relative equal lows here on like the hourly into the weekly imbalance. These relative equal lows. I'm looking at this inversion here. There's S&T on a 2 minute basis. No, there's S&T. It's just weirder.
Yeah.
But right off of equilibrium, and then going to break even here if I get set. Well, it's a quick break even, but yeah. So I'd be mitigating losses there, right at that level. There's a minute to this inversion.
I think I'm gonna sit tight. I'm gonna wait for some sort of 5-minute confirmation if I'm gonna take anything. Just because if it is a 10 a.m. reversal, 11 o'clock, we'll trade into probably lower into that 5-minute. What does your 5-minute actually look like? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you take that 2-minute inversion and you go break even, At the 5 minute, it's not terrible. But yeah, just because if 11 o'clock is going to continue expanding, it'll be the low of the hourly candle would be probably put in inside this 5 minute and below this like 1050 sell side before getting the expansion higher.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to wait for that to basically be invalidated. Wait for that 5 minute to get inversed. Do we trade into that hourly gap in yours or no?
No, it's got equal highs. MNQ did trade into it.
Yeah.
MNQ traded into it. NQ did not. NQ fell short.
So
Or-
I almost prefer if we just trade into it quick.
Wouldn't be the worst thing to
I don't
see.
like equal highs just sitting there.
On the hourly, they're not equal highs. Well, they are equal highs on the hourly, right? Yeah, that's interesting because we could, those times when you get the big down move and then you get the up move, and the up move forms the imbalance, and then you run right through it. Because this, you could say 10 a.m. reversal taking out the previous candle low, right? You know those times?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan. I don't even know if I'd be taking this. I'd actually make this my break even. Wouldn't just trail my stop. I'd go break even there if I did do it though. Already been streaming for an hour and a half. It's holding this 2 minute perfectly. Oh. Oh, great. Another slow day. PB caught another long. So they shorted and then he longed here.
Yeah, out of the 5 minute probably.
Yeah, out of the 5 minute to equilibrium.
Yeah, I noticed that, but it wasn't like a.
We called it out. We did say it. Everybody took that actually. Fucking weirdos.
Yeah, not something. I mean, it's like a decent scalp, but I don't know. I prefer to take trades based on the higher time frame when you have structure aligning with it, and you have clear high time frame objectives. You can just trade the large expansion.
Yeah. I just don't have the confidence in the trade. So
No,
why would I try and take one?
Yeah, there's nothing here that I see high probability.
Oh, the fruit. It tastes nice. That tastes nice.
So falls short of the hourly gap. ES trades above it. So it actually puts a little bit of an internal SPT in there with the hourly amount. But that's not a. It's no, not look good for the shorts there. Should make a video on how we made $9,000 while live streaming over the course of a week. So we can post a video so we can have
Have the channel
some
pop
more
up.
subscribers and it actually come up. I feel like they really only recommend even live streams if they've got quite a bit of subscribers.
Yep.
And
I mean, at least it's showing up more now. Though.
probably a video.
Like it shows up more now compared to usual.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, you could just live stream every day for a year straight and probably get to 1,000 subscribers. That's not the way to do it. And I also figured out the only way to grow on Twitter is to be in Miami.
No, I think the main thing is if you're under people's posts and you reply.
Yeah.
But it's got to be like it can't just be like a basic like if somebody posts a trade and you're like same trade, like nobody's gonna follow you.
You
Off
have
that.
to, I know. You take your posts of your trade recap and post it on other things.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not just trade recaps. Like it's not why people follow you on Twitter. It's not trade recaps that they
Well,
follow.
there's a few people I followed
Yeah.
because of their trades.
It's more the money.
Well, it's more like it was mostly on days where people would lose, like most people lose, and these people were winning more consistently.
So you're like, I find so I favorited. I took a picture of one of my posts that did really well. And it was a simple post. This is the one. I just took a picture. Right here. Look. That did good.
Yeah, the video, maybe the videos.
Well, and I tagged the site of NQ, and I said since NQ is a bank holiday, I'll review yesterday's price action from the perspective of somebody who's done an in-depth daily review every day for 2 years, consistently.
Well,
I put that first. So like that's kind of like validation. It's like pre-validation. Before they even look at you, they're like, oh, he's been trading this for 2 years. So they're like, oh, we'll value his information a little bit more.
I seen this guy, he had like 800 followers, I think, and he had a post with 20,000 views, and it was literally just the title of the tweet was NQ AM execution, and they had the date, and then it was just a video of him entering the trade and then hitting TP in like 18 seconds or whatever it was.
It's just you got to get reposted by people that have followers. You gotta, there's a few different things.
Let's say there's a day you take a super clean trade, and somebody posts like a loss. Just go, if they have a lot of followers, just go under their post and just post your winning trade. And then all
Online
of the
stream.
people that follow them will be like, oh shit,
This guy's better.
oh shit. And then they'll slide over. Because like every reply that I've done under somebody else's post has gotten like a few hundred views for sure. Like,
I
minimum.
think you need to have a personality behind your page too. Like you need to post like video here and then of you like yourself, pictures of like not just trading stuff. And then more of like a connection based community too. Like comment on other people's things, like try and help people out, right? I think the community you could build with Twitter is a good way to follow to like your other platforms. Like say you've got YouTube live streams. Probably the most people you get watching your live streams would come from the Twitter.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, like when I replied to Hydra's tweet, the one day we took the same trade, I was like, same trade. And then that got 600 views.
Yeah. Did it help?
And it got 4. I didn't actually see that. It
You
got
need
4
followers?
comments. I think I got 1. I don't know if it was from that post or whatever. But I think if you just provide some sort of value underneath somebody who has lots of like followers and lots of traction.
Okay, we're getting this move away from the hourly imbalance here, off of the internal SMT we formed. The 2 minute doesn't get inversed until for another minute, I should say. The 1 minute did get closed below right there. But now look at my break even, right? If I'm taking this trade, where am I going to break even? Well, 1 point away. So suppose I'm not taking this one. I'll probably wait for better structures just because we left those hourly relative equal highs up there, which I don't really like. So, I want to see us get this 5 minute close through here, work through this imbalance, right? Have something better to base it off of. Let's make that sell side because this could be a manipulation because we are consolidating right near equilibrium of this. So we didn't manipulate the high. We manipulated the low. We're not going to just reverse like this. We're going to run the highs up. Value. Consolidation at equilibrium, manipulation. We can continue higher. That's why the short's not good. That also took the low already. So the 2 minute inverse is this candle close, but you've taken the low into the 5 minute. So it's invalid for me.
Okay, so we took that low input SMT in. If we're going to get a continuation, this will be like the area we'll put a low in for that continuation. So yeah, SMT that 5 minute swing low in the upper quadrant of the previous hourly candle. So staying in the premium side of that. Trades lower below relevant swing low into the 5 minute imbalance and 5 minute swing low. SMT.
What do you took this change in state?
I'm not going to take it, but I'm just going to tape read it.
I just don't like it because there's nothing else besides just this change in state.
Yeah.
Target the freaking the swing high into the first percent of her value.
If I were to like actually consider a trade here, I'd probably need like a.
I'd be waiting for this 5 minute to close up
Yeah.
above the previous 5 minute candle, pretty much.
Yeah.
More confirmation, but
I was gonna say like the 3 minute change in state or something.
or
five
there's a
minute.
3 minute inverse too.
Yeah.
I do honestly prefer to be longing here though. I don't know why. Like it's
Well, just based on
shorts
that
haven't
hourly
played.
hourly candle close, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more bullish.
It's honestly not even a bad long rate now to just have the break even up there.
Yeah. Take the 3-minute inversion.
Yeah. And then, if this thing's running, since we haven't delivered from this 50-minute, this thing's going to run through it, then you're in the position, right? You have the break even, you target the 4-hour high. Like, what you're doing right now is just basically trading the reaccumulation on the buy side of the curve. It's fine to be this consolidation here because you get the manipulation, then you can expect the expansion or the manipulation on that side. But that's what the break even would mean. But overall, the 5-minute and the 15-minute and even the hourly, my bias is split. So I can't really actually take anything and be like, oh, that's the best trade I've taken. Nothing fits that to me.
Failed to get that 3-minute inversion still. Yeah, I think I'm just going to sit tight today.
You know what?
I'm just going to sit tight today.
Yeah. You sit. Well, it'd be
Stay cash.
it'd be good because you sat tight on Thursday last week. Then you slammed Friday.
Yeah, that's
Then you
right.
sat. Then you didn't trade. Then you slammed yesterday. You sat tight today. You're avoiding all of the losses.
Yeah. That's honestly the biggest thing was because when I used to trade every day, it's like I take the good trades, but then I take bad trades and lose the money I made on the good trades.
Yeah. Well, it's because you go half size, and then it's like you just end up even every day.
Yeah. So then it's the switch was when you just avoid those bad days and only focus on the good days. Because that's if it's your actual model on the good days, and it's like kind of your model on the bad days, but you before you even enter the trade, there's lots of stuff going against it, and you shouldn't be trading, but you're trading anyways. Avoiding those days was the biggest difference. So it wasn't the actual model itself; it was just trading less.
Yeah, the mics sound way better. I was just watching the live stream back.
Oh yeah,
Like compared to what they used to sound like, they're. I gotta mute it. I can't talk when I'm listening to myself. It's like it doesn't cut in and out because I don't have that one thing on, which was like opening and closing the gate of whatever it was picking up for volume. The attack was too quick.
Yeah.
Or the release was like super quick, and it would cut you off before, like, because it would be cutting in and out between every little pause, just like those.
Yeah.
But now that I got it, I removed it because I already have this one filter that is supposedly good for just general background noise. Having the two was like way too much filterage.
probably in the live stream right away.
I don't know. I like trading longer.
Like trading into lunch hour.
Of course. It's a different story if I caught a trade, but I like watching to see how it unfolds, right? Like right now, we've left all these like relative equal highs. We've been consolidating. So if I'm leaving in the consolidation, I'm gonna miss the manipulation and expansion, right? And I'm kind of intrigued just to. I'm interested to see which way it goes here, right? In live time. After the fact, they'll be like, okay, that made sense. But in live time, it's a little bit more. I'd say it helps you more watching things like this in live time where you have a split bias and then you see what happens and you're like, oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Versus going back and being like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah. We've had one viewer the entire time. Like one other person for the entire live stream. It hasn't changed. It's been me for the one viewer and then one other person.
Let's there is somebody. Let's say two.
Did you listen?
I just
What
want.
I said? I said it's been one the entire time except for sorry, I said we only had one person come the entire time, but other than that, it's just been one, which is me. Like one watching now, which is me watching it. What if you promoted a funded giveaway?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, we've got like no followers, so your odds of winning the giveaway are way higher. Well, seriously, right? People enter giveaways on people that like 6,000 viewers. Your odds are like 1 in 1,000 people entered. You got a 1 in 6 odds here, right? You say, yeah, you got to be subscribed and you got to watch the entire live stream.
It'll come at some random point.
Yes. This reminds me of yesterday. Sitting and waiting. Nothing happening. Yesterday was a little bit better because you actually had some movement, but for that, hour-long period of not moving, oh, like this is like that's an Asia session. It's exactly what it feels like right now. Nothing's happened. Well, we might be ending the stream because I don't want to sit here and talk about myself. So, and he's making food. Actually, this happened yesterday though. He left to make food, and I said, "Oh, why are you leaving? We're about to get the setup." He's giving up a little bit early. I was like, I'm gonna sit and stay on the chart." So I stayed, talked a little bit, and I was like, "Oh crap, here's the setup." Slammed it, 30 contracts. That's what happens when you stay patient. I mean, yesterday we had a little bit stronger of an idea of what we were looking for. Today it's more like we traded to this 50-minute and we're consolidating in it, and I've got nothing clear. Like we could do that, or we could do this, and that's it sounds primitive to say that, but when you get those trading conditions, you just want to avoid that. Oh, we're moving to those equal highs. Oh, finally. Finally something. Okay. We're tick. All right, we've
Whatever. You can take my truck. I don't care.
almost traded to this hourly yet. Graydon, are you trading or are you making food? What are you doing?
Take something mid.
What?
Been just chopping.
Yes, you consolidate before you do anything. It was like the first thing we learned when we started studying 2.5 years ago. Consolidation is the start of everything.
Well, the only thing I'd frame would be that, the wick of that 11 o'clock candle.
There you go. We've just put in the wick. You have traded to the hourly imbalance right there. But like for a bullish bias, somebody that's wanting to long here, this long feels very unsafe. Look at the down move, right? Look how quick that is. And then look at this. This slow move is characteristic of retracement always, right? Even to there, like that's a good trade. Yeah, all you really need is just to that lower imbalance. Sorry. Trade that 5-minute or trade the hourly, get a 5-minute something. SMT there at those internal highs too. So 1 hour fair value got traded to, consolidation highs taken, SMT formed, and then you could potentially have this inversion here. It's got 40 seconds on this inversion. I'm looking to take this as the continuation lower and targeting. Initially, it would be below these relative equal lows here for break even, and then this low for a TP.
I'm just gonna sit tight because I can kind of frame both sides of a move here. I'll wait till the 5 minute gets inversed if I'm gonna take anything.
Okay, well, that 1 minute didn't close. I have more trouble framing the long side from right here because we haven't really had the manipulation. You just trade into the daily imbalance and then you just consolidate. So I'd look at the 2 minute here too. You're cooking something?
Yeah, I'm gonna do some sausage and eggs. So we gotta leave in like an hour here.
You cooking for everybody or you're just cooking for yourself?
Well, you having breakfast or?
We're golfing.
So yeah.
Wow. I don't want to walk 18 and not eat anything before.
Okay. Then I guess I'll cook something for everybody.
Well, unless you were just gonna cook to yourself, I could just
No, I was just gonna cook up as much as I can fit in the pan.
Oh, really tricky just to read this thing. Okay, I'm looking at this 5 minute, how it's closed here. We held this imbalance really well. So we have this 5 minute swing low. S&T formed. And you hold this imbalance. Okay. Now we're getting the move here. Move lower. This will be the 2 minute inverse. 23 seconds. So this 1 minute close. I kind of doubt that it would do that though. And inverse it. In that candle. Say anything. 35 seconds. Okay, so looking for this 2-minute inverse still. Break even, dotted line. No TP here, TP all out there. But again, like honestly, my bias the entire time has been 50-50. So it might even be a half size trade if it happens. Or it might not happen at all. You're in the short here.
Yeah.
You're in the short. What's your fill price?
I'm on the 30-second.
You're in on the 30-second.
30-second.
That's the most recent one. The first one?
Just a little bit. My fill is actually 220. Right, I'm breaking right now.
Feels 220.
Mhm.
It's not bad. That's like that's a decent fill price. The only thing is you don't have the 2-minute inversion yet,
Oh, yeah.
or the 1 minute.
I'm gonna add.
You're an add on it. There you go.
Might get the 15-minute order block here.
Well, I'm still waiting for this 2-minute inverse. It's taking its time, right? I don't like that when I'm looking for an inversion because even though you have the aggressive manipulation, you don't get the aggressive inversion of the 1 minute or the 2 minute, which then kind of just makes this look like part of the consolidation. Once you delete everything, right? It just looks like a consolidation.
There we go.
This candle close.
YM might inverse its 50-minute.
This candle close is the 2-minute inverse, so that's the entrance. Stop loss is there.
Fuck, dude. Oh.
I'm in. There. And the TP is right there at that low. Okay, so we'll review hourly fair value gap, right? Expecting the continuation. Also 15-minute fair value gap. Also the equilibrium. You get the internal sweep, S&T. Then you get the 2-minute inversion, break even level defined, and then you're expecting it to drop lower. Take this internal sell side out and then rotate to this lower one. And honestly, the trade is good enough to where it'd be, you look to target there on one of the indices. So either ES, taking it or whatever, just watching it there. But this is my low for this trade, just because of the risk reward on it. It's good. So it's just me in on this. Graydon's not in on this. This would be my only trade of the day too. So initially I had the bullish bias in the morning, flipping the bias, right? Now I can frame the continuation trade, right? And I'm not worried about this daily imbalance because with what we had up here, invalidating it, trading to the daily imbalance, I think that's just like a short-term kind of support, right? Then you get the retracement. Then we need some sort of manipulation here. So if it was going to go higher, manipulation. And if it's going to go lower, then it would be the distribution. But I think both cases is lower. So the 2-minute got not reimbursed, but it came up and filled it fully and reimbursed the 1 minute to the upside. Or actually not reimbursed, but formed a 1 minute inversion to the upside. 212. That's the fill price. There we go. There's the trade. What would worry me is how quickly from the down move, closing, inversing it, it then formed this woman imbalance and then closed right back above it, right? Just from the amount of inversions I've taken. The winning ones don't do that right off the bat. But again, you don't move the stop loss, you leave it here. Don't adjust it, you can't change anything about the trade. You get in, you have your break even set and your take profit set and your stop loss. Right? As long as we're holding within this 2 minute, I don't mind it. All right, there's the stop loss. I'm going to end the stream there just because that was the only try of the day. So, yeah. Hope you guys have a good day and tune in tomorrow and the rest of the week. All right, see ya.
Peace.